Hi there, Glocal citizens. Welcome back to the podcast that inspires a borderless mindset around manifesting a new world. I am Florence Adu, your host. I'm coming to you again from Accra. This is my last interview from Accra for a while. So I'm excited about my guest who is coming to us from the US. And she's here on an interesting mission. She is the owner of Hempress Farms, and she's also the owner of Ma'ati Spa. These are both based in North Carolina. And Hempress Farms is a boutique artisan grow and sustainably produced cannabis product. Hemp. Mm-hmm. Hemp. Yes, I'll say hemp. We must be sure to say hemp. Ma'ati, did I say that correctly? Mm-hmm. Ma'ati Spa is a place where you can relax and heal yourself. So, Maya Gilliam, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much.
Yay. So, let's get started. Tell us more about where you're from, where you're local, and what is your craft?
Okay, so I'm from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. We have a vertically integrated cultivation facility there. Actually, in this exact same location, started out as a day spa called Ma'ati Spa. And when COVID-19 hit, spa shut down. Literally 2 weeks later, Hempress Farms was erected in the exact same spot. So even now, even though it's a cultivation facility, it's still very spa-like.
Okay.
So it's fabulous in that way. We do 5-star product tastings, which introduce our clients to our luxury CBD products.
Okay.
All of our products are from seed to bottle. So we literally grow all the hemp that creates the CBD extract that go in all of our products. Mm-hmm. So that's one thing that people really love about us, because they know like exactly who's growing the plants that are creating the medicine, and the pain relief, and all these wonderful things that the plant does. So that's what we do.
Okay, wonderful. And so you are from North Carolina?
Yeah, I'm from Winston-Salem.
Okay.
More specifically, Yakinville, like the country.
Yakinville. Is that the name?
Yeah, Yakinville.
Oh, okay. We'll have to put a pin on that in the show notes so we can kind of get a sense of where that is. And so your craft is cultivating hemp.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, you're a farmer.
I'm a farmer. Yeah. And I create products, amazing products.
Yeah.
For your skin, topical products, and also edibles and tinctures as well.
Okay, nice.
And teas.
And teas, yes. So just some background, folks. A mutual friend here had introduced me to Maya. We played a little bit of like WhatsApp business. But she happens to be here in Accra for exactly that purpose, to kind of come and introduce her products and understand more about the landscape. And we'll get into a little bit more of that later. But before we do that, tell me more about your background and what inspired you to kind of be on this innovation and revolutionary path.
Sure. So I was born in Winston-Salem, and I grew up in Yakinville actually from like second grade. Mm-hmm. So I'm a country girl. I grew up on a ranch with like cows and horses and a couple of chickens. And I went to college in Washington, D.C. So that was an amazing experience. And shortly after graduation, I worked at USA Today. My major was TV production and electronic studio, which is like web design, graphic design.
Okay.
And I'm also a photojournalist. So all throughout university, I was a photo editor for the campus newspaper.
Okay. And what campus was that?
Howard University.
we like to give big ups to particularly our HBCUs. Yeah. So yes. Howard alumni in the house.
Howard in the house, for sure. HU for life. No. So after graduation from Howard, like a month later, I started working at USA Today as assistant photo editor for the sports section. Mm-hmm. I worked there for about 2 years. And I have another company, too. It's called Third Eye Digital. We do web design, graphic design, video production, things like that. Everything multimedia, basically. Sure. And I started working for that company full-time after I left USA Today. Okay. And let's see, I'd say about maybe about 4 or 5 years later, I moved back to North Carolina and I opened a day spa. I went to massage school. Okay. Because I was like constantly in front of a computer, like all the time. Yeah. And I just wanted to get some extra income from another profession that didn't require like being in front of a computer. Mm-hmm. So I went to massage school, learned a lot about energy work, wellness, healing, spiritual work, all types of stuff like that. So begin to study and continue to study about the metaphysical, wellness in general. I'm also a hypnotherapist as well. So I went to hypnotherapy school.
Okay.
The goal was to learn how to control my own subconscious mind, really. So I don't do a lot of hypnotherapy. I do it for me, my family, my friends. I do it professionally every now and then or for groups.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm really deep into learning how to control your subconscious mind.
Yeah.
Mind control, trying to utilize as much of the brain as possible.
Yeah.
You know, so that we can reach our divine potential.
Right.
On Earth.
Right. Manifest that new world. That is what we're here for. Yeah. So you said doing group hypnotherapy.
Yeah.
How does that work? Because I always think of hypnosis as an individual thing where, you're personally guided but I guess in some level it's a little bit on more meditative if it's in a group setting, or how does that work?
Basically, hypnotherapy is nothing but guided meditation. Okay. And when you're being hypnotized, you literally can't be hypnotized unless you want to be.
Right.
So when you have a group of people, they all have a goal they want to accomplish. So if they're willing to, it's like go time. If they're ready, it's like, you ready? You want to do this? Let's do this. You can't just hypnotize a group of people who don't want to be or don't know they're being hypnotized.
Right.
Unless you do it systematically over generations, but we'll get back to that.
Right, exactly.
On another podcast.
Exactly.
But so basically everybody just gets relaxed and they just listen to the sound of my voice. And we first start with some breathing, and then we're going to focus on something relaxing like a beam of sunlight. Yeah. And then that beam of sunlight just continues to go down the body. And like mentioning, it's going down your eyelids and your ears. And then everybody's relaxed, and then we all go on like a journey together. Got it. Go visit a past life or visualize your future self. Sure. Stuff like that. Sure.
Yeah, that's how it works. Nice. Very interesting. I'm a meditator myself, so I absolutely get that part of it. Okay, so you were a graphic designer, you still run a graphic design company, and then you did all this training and you collated all that into the spa. So as a serial entrepreneur, now I'm understanding, tell us more about how you decided about the spa business and then how that dovetailed into the hemp business. And I know you said you grew up in the country, so that makes a lot of sense. I get that, definitely. So tell us more about the spa business. Like, how did you fund it? How did you, bring that to life?
So first was Third Eye Digital. It's kind of funny because like my minor was web design and graphic design. And I can do it well, but I prefer to like get the contracts, and so it's kind of funny. Like when we had assignments, I would just pay my classmates to do my websites for me for class. And I was just like, look, it's just $200, and please just get this done for me.
Wow! So you started early.
Yeah, so that's how it started.
Sure. Okay.
And then we began to get real clients, and we actually got a contract with Howard University newspaper, not newspaper, but the yearbook. Okay. To create a digital yearbook. So we created a DVD yearbook, and that was like our first big contract. So it was like a huge thing. It was like $11,000. I'm like, whoa. Wow. So that like really launched Third Eye Digital. And then we started doing a lot of websites for small businesses and just individuals and things like that. Then we did a site for the New York Public Library. Oh, okay. And that just snowballed. So after that, we've done sites for maybe A. Clayton Museum, the JFK Museum. Oh, nice. Martin Luther King Museum in Atlanta, Louis Armstrong House Museum in Corona, Queens. We just do a lot of work for museums.
So what is that specialization about? Is it about the interactivity of it, or is it
for the museums? It's basically for digitizing historical documents. Got it. And putting them in this huge database so that in case there's ever a fire or anything like that. Wonderful. We have the digital copy of it. Wow. And also to monetize the digital copies. Sure. And create revenue for the museum so they can
kind of licensing out those things. Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, cool. And so with that, I went to massage school and still running Third Eye Digital at the time, doing web design. And I got a huge website. Yeah. And this guy paid me $30,000 and he paid me half. Okay. So I took that 15 and I opened the spa.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So found a nice location.
Okay.
Which it's kind of in Winston-Salem downtown. It's like a live-work thing. Mm-hmm. So I actually lived in the spa the first year. I slept on massage tables and everything on the couch.
That's an entrepreneur.
Yeah, because it's hard to, when you first start out, it's hard to afford an apartment and your business.
Particularly when you're putting so much time into business.
Right, exactly. So it's kind of funny because nobody except my friends knew I lived there. In the morning, I would just hide all my stuff in the back closet and just act like I didn't live there.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny. And then the spa, really, we ran a Groupon and we got like super popular very, very quickly. Okay. And we turned those Groupon customers into repeat customers and figured out a way to get the Groupon customers to purchase directly through us instead of purchasing the Groupon.
Right.
So we grew very quickly with that. And then the spa.
How did you hire? Like the hiring of other
massage therapists? Yeah, so I just went to
estheticians, etc. So you just kind of went through
I was just getting out of massage school myself when I opened the spa. So I had in school there's just like a pool of people. Just
Got
like,
it.
Hey, can you do this massage? So I knew already like 20 therapists.
Okay. Got it. That worked well.
And after that, as the years go by, then you just go to local massage schools and just get them from there. Or they just call you and ask for a job, you do an interview. So so it's easy to get massage therapists. It's easy.
Right.
And we were open for 9 years. Okay. And then COVID-19 hit. Yep. And then so when they shut spas down, I saw like we went from making $30,000 a month to $0 a month.
Wow.
And the bills didn't stop.
Exactly.
So I was like, all right. I don't think I like non-essential companies anymore. Exactly. And, I started thinking about it. And, basically, we opened up because I already had a hemp license at the time. Okay. And I had paid a consultant to make me a master grower.
Okay. So what inspired you to get the hemp license?
Actually, my parents.
Okay.
Yeah, they were like, yo, you should look into this hemp thing, and, they had me go to a conference. I went to a conference and I studied it. I studied it for like a year before I did anything.
Okay. Go, Mom and Dad.
And they were like, okay, here's the license. We got the license. So what are you going to do with it? Okay. And they said, we did all we could. Here's a license and you can grow here on this land. Okay. And
are they farmers?
Kinda. They grew up. Their parents were farmers. Okay. So they grew up farming. Okay. Potatoes. Okay. And like greens.
So you always kind of knew how to grow things.
Yeah. When I was a kid, they used to make us
work in the garden.
Potatoes out of the potato field. Which I hated.
But didn't we all? I used to hate. My dad was my parents came from Ghana, and so my dad and Mom would always have gardens. And so gardens have weeds. And then we had a big apple tree and that just dumped apples. So we used to hate having to pick weeds and rake those and pick those apples off the grass. So we hated it. But I realized that was great practice and great training for understanding how the earth works and not being so afraid of bugs and all that stuff. Yeah.
Speaking of being afraid of bugs, my dad owns a pest control company. Nice segue.
Right? That's interesting. But, Okay. So then you got the license. And
so we got the license and the first year I was just doing the research. Okay. And then the second year I was like, okay, I think we're ready. And so we did a little fundraiser, got a couple investors. Okay. And we did an outdoor grow. Use the money for that.
How much land did you do your first out?
It was just a half an acre.
Okay.
That was it. Test. It's good to start small. I was doing a lot of research and I noticed like a lot of farmers in that area, they started very big and they lost very big. So I was like, okay. So I was going to the conferences and I was listening to the farmers and hearing their grievances and seeing what was going on. And they had a real problem with basically, first of all, it's very expensive to grow on the outdoor because you have to do your weekly sprays so the pests don't take over. And the plant disease sprays and dry amendments. It's a lot of work when you're growing for flower, which most of us are in North Carolina. So you really have to tend to those plants if you want to be successful. Yeah. So we're having a problem with payroll and just being able to tend to all the plants. And then when they had all this flower left over, they couldn't sell it.
Yeah. No off takers.
Yeah. So And the main reason is because they only focused on growing. They didn't focus on creating products.
Right.
And so I actually created CBD products like a year before I ever planted a seed. I already had the body butter and the body scrub.
Got it.
Because I'm coming in like, okay, first, how am I going to sell it before I even start planting this?
Exactly.
So I think that was one of the major advantages. That, and I'm huge on vertical integration. We do a lot of training, cultivation trainings, and I've helped already 11 people get their hemp license in North Carolina.
Okay.
We have an application class, like where we literally fill out the application.
Got it.
When you leave this class, all you need to do is mail it in with the money.
Got it. Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
So we're all about that whole social justice, teaching Black people how to grow.
Yes.
Vibe there.
Was it fairly easy, straightforward? Is there any politics? Are there any like big hurdles in terms of getting the license?
The main hurdle is the limiting beliefs of Black people thinking that it's hard.
Okay. Okay.
That's the biggest hurdle.
Good. That's good.
Because they always come like, oh, they're trying to keep Black people out of the industry. I'm like, how?
Right. Right.
If you have a felony, put it in your mother's name.
Okay.
Put in your wife's
Sure,
name.
there are ways around
There are
it.
many ways.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Just because you have a felony does not mean you can't work in the industry.
Sure.
It just means you can't own a license.
Got it.
Okay,
Got
it's
it.
fine.
Got
Put the
it.
license in someone else's name and run your business.
So, in your growing, did you project how much you were going to make? Like, you had investors, so obviously you had to, some returns to give back. So, what was your projection starting off?
All right, so the thought process behind that, and I would not recommend it. But, I mean, I kind of would. It's just stress, when things don't go the way they should go.
Yeah.
And you have to kind of maneuver. So, basically, this was pre-COVID. This is like the fall 2019.
Okay.
And so we raised $30,000, okay, in 2 months, just off of Facebook posts. Like, hey, y'all, this is what we want to do. So friends and family, just threw the money in Cash Apps, Venmo, checks, everything. And so we're like, okay, so you're going to buy a baby plant, a clone, all right, for $100. We're going to give you back $200.
Nice. Okay. That's easy.
So we'll cultivate that plant for you until it gets to be older. And so the calculations were, all right, so each plant at that time will produce probably a half a pound of hemp.
Okay.
Okay, and then we'll sell that half pound of hemp for $400.
Okay.
And then I'll give you my $200. I'll take my $200
and we're good to go.
So that's in a perfect world.
Back of the envelope. It works.
But we definitely had an ironclad contract actually.
Okay.
That basically said, look, if anything happens, if we mess up, if everything happens, you lose your money.
Okay.
But I didn't feel comfortable with that because they're friends and family.
Yeah.
And they really believed in the project.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, y'all. Basically, COVID-19 came.
Yeah.
So we're supposed to plant in early May. So COVID-19 came in March. A lot of shipments. Amazon was late. A lot of things were late. So we planted outdoor. We had been growing indoors for a couple months before that. We planted outdoor about a month late. So the babies didn't have as much time in vegetation as we would like.
Yeah.
So we thought they would be maybe 5 or 6 feet tall even. But they were only like 3 feet tall. So the yield was smaller than we anticipated.
Got it.
Because they missed like a month of vegetation.
Sure.
And it's nobody's fault. Nobody thought COVID-19 was going to come and shipments would be behind and the whole world was going to stop.
Yeah.
So we're actually very lucky that we even had...
At 3 feet, yeah.
Yeah. So from the outdoor harvest, we're expecting like 125 pounds.
Okay.
So we got 30 pounds.
Oh.
So I just let them know... Well, actually, this is a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
I just let them know, it's like, look, you cannot get your money back, or we can press this flour. We can extract the oil from it, get the rosin, we can create products. And I'll give you your money back next year. So that's what we did.
Okay.
So we were like, you're going to have to wait longer. You're going to get your money back, but you're going to have to wait longer. Because the only way to flip this 30 pounds of hemp is to create products.
Highest value, right.
Yeah.
Right. So had you had the idea that you just kind of innovated and said, okay, we don't have as much flour, so let's get this vertical going now, right? And so that's what you did.
Yeah.
So you created new products. So did you have these products already, or these are new products?
I already had products already,
Okay.
and we have a lot more products now. But I did have products already, and that's how I knew.
Okay.
But I was like, oh yeah, well, if we just press the rosin, then we can easily give them their money back.
Okay.
But if we sell this flour wholesale,
Got it. Got it. So, but this flower that you were selling, just to be clear, because what is legal in North Carolina is the hemp plant, right?
Hemp is legal in North Carolina with the THC below 0.3.
Okay. So very similar to what Ghana is expecting, right? So this is the kind of this is now becoming like the international legalized medicinal cannabis, I guess, policy is that if the THC is under 0.34, is that it? Then
0.3.
0.3. Then you can sell it and only for medicinal.
Right. And pain relief is for medicinal purposes.
Absolutely.
All of our products are for pain relief, stress relief, insomnia, PTSD, migraine headaches.
And just so, again, because I've had other guests that are in the cannabis business, and so how do you recommend people make the distinction between the effects of the hemp / CBD as it is and like boosted or hemp or cannabis that has THC still intact in a product?
Yeah, so basically the difference is going to be with the hemp and the CBD, you're going to feel relaxed. You're going to feel pain relief. You're not going to feel super duper high.
Right.
Right. Sometimes with THC, you'll feel really high, maybe paranoid. Maybe not, but with CBD, it's a nice, safe feeling. For example, I have some clients that come to me when they're about to give speeches. Obviously, you don't want to be high during a speech, but you still want to be very relaxed.
Yes.
And just calm and in control, because sometimes, they
nerves,
get the
jitters.
nerves. Yeah. So anything with nerves, say if you're scared of planes and you want to get on a plane, CBD.
Yes.
Just calm yourself.
Yes.
And then go. That is great for that.
Right.
Or at work, A lot of people are working from home and, it's a lot going on and you just sip on some hemp tea, something like that, that can just calm your nerves and just
let you move on. Keep calm and move on. Okay. Makes a lot of sense. So we're sitting in Accra. And so this is where I'm going to ask my why the weird question in that regard. So tell us how you came to be staying and working and playing here in Accra for this trip.
Okay, well, I love Accra. It's one of my favorites. Well, it's literally my favorite city in the world.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Came here back in 2007, fell in love with it. Been coming a couple times a year ever since then.
Okay.
And it's just like a wonderful place to be for me.
Okay.
So when I found out there was an opportunity, and I read that Ghana made hemp and cannabis legal, so I just put the feelers out into the universe. And so we're out here doing the best we can and networking to make it happen.
Okay, nice. So what do you see as a place for Hempress Farms here in Accra?
I see exactly what's downtown Winston-Salem right now.
Oh, wow.
An upscale hemp dispensary with luxury CBD products.
Nice.
Doing tastings all day, every day.
Okay.
Events in the evening, tastings.
Okay.
A wonderful place to come, relax, enjoy yourself, decompress.
I can see it.
Luxury.
I can see it. I can feel it. So last weekend, and she had another one this weekend. Last weekend, I had a tasting here in Accra. So it was in a flat. And it was kind of luxurious, very sparse. There was someone giving a little bit of shoulder rubs using the body butter, which is beautiful and it's lovely. So I want to make sure in the show notes you'll have access to this. But this body butter is butter. Like, clearly it's butter. It just was like, we were like, ooh, it's so nice. So I'll describe the experience a little bit. So when you sat down, they gave you a steam with one of the products, which is an infused CBD, a fused essential oil. So I chose the rosemary oil, but the different varieties were lemongrass, mint, and I think another one. But so again, you'll see those on the website. So you steamed, and then you did a hand scrub with the salts. So the salts also have CBD in them. And then that's when the body butter came in. And all the while we're sipping hibiscus ginger. No, was that the hibiscus ginger? We were sipping just hibiscus tea. So that just gives you a sense of the kind of experience that Maya's providing and looking to provide an upscale in Accra. So I love that concept.
Yeah, and all this would not even happen without a company called Hakuna Group.
Hakuna Group.
From the Netherlands. They're absolutely amazing. The guy who runs it, Jason Tim, he's like literally been like my international consultant for agriculture.
Nice.
So I would not know where to start without Hakuna Group, seriously.
So how did you find them? How did they find you? How did you find each other?
I was on Instagram.
Okay.
No, maybe I was on LinkedIn. And I saw this link that said Pan-African hemp something. And I was like, oh. So I just clicked it. And I joined a WhatsApp group.
Okay.
And so everybody's just talking, people from all over the globe, and they're just talking about hemp and what's legal in certain places in Africa and, you know, in America. And we all just started having conversations. So that's how I found them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I looked at the website and I was like, oh, wow, this is like serious business.
Right.
Okay, so they don't just do hemp, like they do like many other agricultural commodities.
Okay.
Ginger, avocados, and all types of stuff.
Okay, so I saw a little clip, and I think I saw sweet potatoes.
Yeah, sweet potatoes, cassava, stuff like that.
Okay, so agriculture worldwide.
Yeah, worldwide.
Nice.
Yeah. So they've been teaching me a lot.
Okay.
Actually.
Okay.
So they actually flew me out to Rwanda.
Okay.
Not too long ago.
And what was that like? So was that your second?
First time to Rwanda.
Okay, so was it your second African country, or have you been
to
no,
I've been to a couple of African countries like Togo, Ghana, of course, South Africa, Kenya, Egypt.
Okay.
Stuff like that.
Glocal citizenship.
Yeah.
Got your stamp. So tell us about Rwanda.
Rwanda's a lovely place. It's beautiful. The streets are really clean, like outrageously clean.
I've heard.
The people are really nice. People are gorgeous as well. So it's a lot different than West Africa. It's not as fun.
Oh, okay. I've heard that.
It's a really nice place. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Like the scenery is amazing. Like the hills and all the green hills.
Yeah.
So it's really, really beautiful place. And you know, this food is not as spicy.
Okay.
I like it.
Sure.
But it's really, really nice place. It's beautiful. It looks like a little Miami or something. It's kind of.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. So what's your vision for Hempress Farms in Rwanda? Is that?
We're going to see what the local laws do.
So it's not legal there, or is it?
It's legal to cultivate.
Okay.
So we're working on that, same way we're working on Ghana.
Okay.
So we'll have an update for that.
Okay. Nice.
Soon.
Nice. So did you find that because Ghana has a hemp association. So does Rwanda have similar infrastructure?
They don't have a hemp association, but they do have they have a good government setup where you can set up meetings and ask questions.
Okay. Oh, that's good. Yeah.
So it's super organized.
Right.
Super organized.
Right. And that's...
Yeah, kind of like America.
Right. I've heard. So that's the thing is Rwanda is just one to watch because of the level of organization in which they have approached policy and all those things. Like, you wouldn't be able to have such a clean country if the powers that be, the policymakers, the leaders weren't leading by example. And so I think that's kind of where a lot of West Africa in particular, we look to Rwanda and say, oh, Rwanda's doing this great, but then we don't figure out how we need to also make those decisions to do it as the leaders. You know, because it was the leadership class that made those decisions. It wasn't just like, oh, poof, we're going to do this. It's the leaders. So, okay, we'll be looking forward to...
Yeah, they have a lot of amazing women leaders.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Super powerful, smart.
So let's move into a little bit of Glocal speak.
Okay.
So this is where we want to know what you hear. So you've been traveling a little bit recently. You were just in Rwanda. You've now been to Accra. But you live in... What is the South, the Southern U.S. So tell us some Glocal speak that rings in your ears, that you hear often, and that really is something that takes you to another place. And that
I hear here at home?
In any of these places. Wherever you feel local, what is global kind of speak that you hear?
Like slang?
Sure. Or sayings?
Chopping life.
Chopping life. Okay.
They always say chopping life here.
Chopping life.
Yeah.
Really?
Living life to the fullest.
Okay. I haven't heard that.
Burna Boy like, we're going to chop life.
Okay.
I heard it for the first time because I heard them say it.
Okay.
I was like, okay, chop life.
Okay. I like that though. I love Burna Boy. I love Burna Boy. Yes. Yeah. Okay, so that's another show note. Listen to his new album.
He got a really nice Tiny Desk video out.
Oh, a new one?
NPR, Tiny Desk.
Yeah, so we're doing a plug for Tiny Desk because we love it too.
It's like a live Burna Boy thing.
Nice. Okay, chopping life. That's a good thing. Okay, so let's get a little bit more technical into the product creation. So you just talked about you decided to extract the rosin and do that for these products, having to pivot for COVID-19. So tell us a little bit more about where you find your seeds, how you are cultivating indoor now, because you talked about the outdoor. Tell us more about the indoor processing and how that then becomes a product for you.
Yeah, indoor growing is my love.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not growing outdoor anymore.
Okay.
Because our indoor flower is superior in every way.
Okay.
And also the indoor. Okay, so I'll give you a little background on indoor.
Okay.
The very first grow started in like one of my rent houses in the country in Yakinville, like 1 minute from the outdoor grow.
Okay.
So it was a rent house. It was fine. We were growing in there. We had a few cycles, amazing cycles, some excellent flower. As soon as the flower was done curing, it's gone. Like we sold it all wholesale. Okay.
And what kind of who were buying? Who are your buyers for this?
Well, the buyers can vary.
Okay.
It might not be your typical buyers that you might think in dispensaries.
Okay.
So the buyers are like other people who make products.
Okay. Okay.
The buyers are people who need quality hemp.
Okay. Got it.
Are the buyers.
Sure.
For the indoor grow, so we started there, and then COVID-19 is going on.
Yes.
So it's like, all right, you got to start thinking smart. You have to decrease the expenses.
Yep.
So I was like, you know what? Move all this downtown to the spa.
Okay.
Because at that time, the spa business was shit.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually cool for if you're a massage therapist who wants to travel to people's homes. But for like spa owners, where when people want to come into the spa, decrease by 70%.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I had to make a decision and say, well, these rooms, I can't keep massage tables in here.
Got it.
Because it's just not making the same money as I'm used to. I'm used to a certain amount of cash flow.
Yeah.
I got very uncomfortable when I didn't have that cash flow.
Right.
So I was like, you know what? These are going to be cultivation rooms. So we moved out all the spa. If you walk in the spa now, you'll see a vegetation room, which used to be a massage room. And in the middle, you'll see like a big lobby with a kitchen, fabulous kitchen where we do all of our tastings. And then when you walk down the hallway, you'll see the flower.
Okay. Interesting.
So, yeah.
And that's about how many square feet?
Probably like 1,600 square feet, something like that on the upper level, and then maybe like 1,900 square feet on the lower level.
Okay. So it doesn't require a lot of space necessarily.
No, not for indoor growing.
Okay.
Not at all. Because we're on a 2-month cycle right now.
Okay.
So we're on a 2-month cycle, so I sell a little bit of wholesale flour, but most of the flour we're going to utilize for our products.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
So you plant every 2 months you harvest. So you have
2 or 3 months.
Okay, so you have about 4 harvests a year so far. Well, that's your projections. You have about 4 harvests per year. So now, when you are processing it, how are you doing it? What kind of equipment are you using? What kind of equipment is necessary?
Okay, so we're using an extraction machine, and it heats up 2 steel plates at 215 degrees.
Okay.
And we press the flour, and it pulls out this brown, sometimes gold rosin, depending on what strand you have.
Yeah.
And that rosin, is super sticky.
Okay.
So you have to throw it in the freezer. Freeze it until it's waxy.
Okay.
When it's waxy, we use a tool to get it all together.
Okay.
Until we have 10 grams of it. Okay. And once we have that, we can decarb it and get it ready for products.
Okay. So the decarb is that kind of that activation process, right? This carboxylation is that what they call it? I've been doing a little bit of research on that. So that's the heat, right? Okay. And is that also a press, or is that just like an oven that does that?
Yeah, that's a press.
So, okay, so 2 different presses. So one is a no temperature press. It's just
it's temperature. It's like 215 degrees.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, okay. And then you'll have to download our class.
To know more.
To get the rest.
Okay, I like
that. Or you can hit me up on Instagram.
Okay. So tell us about the class. So tell us more about the classes.
Yeah. So we're gonna do some classes too for Canada, Africa.
Perfect.
Okay. So there's an amazing company. It's like kind of like a digital magazine almost. Okay. And content creators. They're called CanadaAfrica.com.
Okay.
And they have an Instagram too. So follow that.
Okay.
but it creates content like globally.
Okay.
Like Black people
Got
on
it.
the globe who are growing, creating products.
Nice.
And so definitely check that out. And Bella Canna too is like an amazing company. It's like an umbrella that has many other companies that invest in cannabis companies.
Okay. Nice.
Minority owned around the globe. South Africa, Lesotho.
Okay.
They have a grow.
Are they based in South Africa?
Grow, yes.
Okay.
DC as well. And we're looking at Rwanda and Ghana. So we all work together. Bella Canna. Canna Africa, Hakuna Group BV, Hempress Farms, and we're all we're stronger together. We're all using our superpowers to make this shit happen.
Nice. Okay, that's great. So, so to get more on how the process works, I love that. Yes, we want to. Want to send people to your
follow the Instagram. And the Facebook. They both have the same information.
And that's Hempress Farms.
And that's Hempress Farms with an S.
Yes.
And then you'll see when our next classes are. You can chime in via Zoom or in person. Okay. We do cultivation classes for vegetation. We do flower classes, prep for flower, application classes. Like any class you can think of, we do it. And again, if you're not in the country and if you're not in our state, then you can always chime in via Zoom.
Right. But there's a lot of resources out there for folks who want to understand
and they're super affordable. I don't claim to be like a person that's been growing for 20 years. I'm literally teaching you exactly what I've been taught. Okay, when it comes to growing.
But it's also in your hands-on experience as well.
That's right. Yes. And when it comes to products manufacturing, I am an expert in that. And I am an expert in vertical integration. So we talk about that a lot because I don't want people to come in this industry thinking that you can just grow. And that's it. You have to create products in order to be successful.
And, I think that is the misconception about farming overall is because, when you were first saying that people would grow and then they would use all this land. The key thing that I've always understood about farming is you don't grow unless you have an off-taker. Like the speculative farming, it doesn't work. It just doesn't. You have to know that you're going to have this much to give to this person or you're using it. And the best way to use it is in your own products. So I think that that's the learning and the lesson that Africans in particular, small-scale artists and farmers, we need to be kind of blaring the horn on what that is about. I like that. Okay, we're going to have really good show notes this week. Okay, so let me ask you about a mindset hack. So what do you use? What's your mindset hack?
All right. So it's definitely going to be meditation in the morning.
Okay. All right.
I'm a hypnotherapist.
Yes.
So you're going to program the subconscious mind in these ways. It's going to be repetition, symbology, and trauma. Okay.
Symbology in trauma or and trauma?
And trauma.
Okay. So how do you program?
All right. So you can do it in many different ways. So with repetition, you can record your own voice, reading like your goals, your life script in present tense. That's very important. It can't be I will.
Like I am.
I am. Okay. So you can record your own voice and just do it on your phone. Everybody has a phone voice recorder and literally listen to it 1,000 times. Like all the time.
It
every
works.
Day, all day.
Because it penetrates the subconscious and then you're automatically in that mindset. Okay.
Or even while you sleep.
Yes. I listen to binaural beats as I'm sleeping often. So just the vibrations. It really does. So symbology. How does that work? Is that just visualization?
All right, symbology is gonna be like ritual.
Okay.
All right, so you go to your altar. You know how sometimes you have different things, different relics that represent like a symbol.
Like crystals and things like that.
Exactly, stuff like that. So some certain things represent certain things for people.
Sure.
So like, this is a symbol for me for protection.
Okay.
So that's symbology.
Got it.
So I wear it here. I've been wearing it here for the past 10 years. A random guy in Ghana gave this to me 10 years ago, and I never.
It's a crystal.
Yeah, well, they call it a thunderstone.
Thunderstone.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you can get this from the fetish market in Togo.
Okay. Is that where you got it? Oh no,
well,
you said someone gave it to you.
I got more from there.
Okay.
And it's so wild because when he gave it to me, I didn't really know what it was, and I carried it for 10 years. And then I went to Togo to the fetish market, and I was like, "What's that stone?" They're like, "It's a thunderstone, and it helps with protection." I was like, "Oh,
wow!" Just your intuition just told you to keep it. Okay. Okay, intuition. Always listen to it. That's what I say. And then trauma. how do you?
It's like when you're young
that?
and you get bit by a dog, and then all your adult years you're not afraid of dogs.
Okay, so just kind of rewiring your mind to change that as accepting that as part of your reality is kind of the idea. Okay, got it. Good mindset. So actually confronting it so that you can get over it is the concept. Okay, good. Yeah. Nice. So we learned about your business. We learned about your travels. Tell us more about like who Maya is. I like to ask this question, which is, are you a reader, a watcher, or a listener, just to kind of get a sense of what occupies your time outside of the work world?
Let's see. I guess all the above.
Okay. So what are some of the things that you indulge in on the auditory or sensory or visual level?
Oh, I love fine dining.
Okay.
I love wine tastings.
Okay.
I always want to be a food critic when I retire. Be like this international food critic and go to all these like super expensive restaurants.
Yeah.
And like 5-star Michelin chefs and just critique food. And luxury is my hobby.
Okay.
Yeah. Before COVID, I was actually, if you hashtag international luxury spa reviewer, you'll see all the different resorts I went to around the globe.
Oh, okay.
Because what I would do is just travel, and I would get 5-star luxury ideas, and I would bring it back to the spa.
Ah,
so
nice. That still work, girl.
Yeah. Yeah, places like Dubai, the Maldives, India, South Korea, Ghana.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Qatar.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Different places.
All right. So you mentioned Burna Boy. Who else are you listening to?
Oh, listening to Afrobeats in general because I love it.
Okay. Yeah.
And listening to like mantras too.
Okay.
Meditation.
Okay. Got it. Got it. Nice. Well, Maya, this has been so awesome. I'm so glad I was able to catch you before you fly off back to the other side of the ocean. Yeah, and I look forward to seeing you still and again back here in Accra because I am a true believer that cannabis is medicine, and I definitely see myself as a farmer as well. So I will be signing up for one of your classes because I really want to understand the cultivation. And I really want to share that with people because I think pain is something that everyone has. And, we're doing it, we're treating it, first of all, not directly. We're indirectly treating pain with the mostly pharmaceutical productions that are synthetic, whereas we have this plant that is indigenous to our own environment that is treatment. So we just need to relearn what we've already known.
Exactly, and there's like this whole metaphysical piece for the cannabis too, because it's like the oldest crop known to planet Earth, and then we're the oldest people known to planet Earth. So it's like
it just makes sense.
The Dogon tribe in Mali says that cannabis comes from the Sirius B, the star they knew about before telescopes came.
There you go.
So it's a magical plant.
Yes, it is.
It does so many things, like food, shelter.
Yeah.
I mean,
exactly. Yeah, exactly. It goes beyond just, what everyone thinks, oh, you're smoking to get high. It's like, no, there's blocks, there's construction, every part of the plant is useful. So the more we get the word out to Africans, to all indigenous peoples, and, everybody in the world, I think we'll be in the right direction.
Yeah, save the ocean, save the forest.
Exactly. Cheers. Cheers. Exactly.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes. Thank you too.
You can pick out products.
Wonderful. I will appreciate that. And while you do that, I'm going to sign off to our customers. Sign off to our listeners.
Oh, wait. Pick anything you want out of it.
Oh my gosh. Oh, guys, I'm going to have to put a link to the one that I choose out of this lovely bag of goodies. So I'm going to look into that and pick something out. I can't wait. Until then, I want to say thank you again, Maya. And this has been another episode of Glocal Citizen. You can catch us each and every Tuesday with a new episode at www.glocalcitizenspod.com and wherever you get your podcasts. Please share, like, subscribe, tell a friend, suggest a guest. We love it. And until next time, bye for now.